to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get my next guest out, shall we? He is a fantastic actor from The Hobbit, Fast and Furious, and from the stunning new dystopian thriller High Rise, based on the great British novel by J.G. Ballard. It is Mr. Luke Evans, ladies and gentlemen. Luke, it's great to have you on the show.
Please don't talk about Brazilians.
OK, no, we won't even
I'm
start
not showing
on
you mine.
Well, you know, we have a bit of a thing going on here. Obviously, your performance, but Taryn is Welsh, of course. Shazia, we know, holidayed in Wales for 3 or 4 days. How important is that to you? Do you consider yourself Welsh?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, especially when we win at rugby.
Yeah.
Even when we don't, I still feel very Welsh, but it's better when they do. No, I'm very Welsh. I have a... I don't know about your family, but my family, they love a bargain. There's nothing like a bargain. So there's no Oxfam or second-hand store in South Wales that my mother hasn't visited.
Wow.
You were telling me about your shoes. You were lucky you got there before my mother did.
£10.
Wow.
She'd have had them. Yeah. She'd have knocked them down.
So your mum goes into charity shops and haggles?
Oh, yeah. She does. Wow. Yeah, but and I've gained it. I live in East London. I can't walk past a pound shop without having a look around, you know, see what I can find.
But you
ask them the price. How much is this?
But you can't.
And this?
They don't let you haggle in the pound shop, do they?
No,
that
they
would
don't.
undercut the whole philosophy of the pound shop.
There's often fights in the pound shop, which I've found, which is quite funny.
That's you, is it? You're starting fights. That's too bloody much.
That's too bloody much, that is mine.
But you don't speak any Welsh, actually, because Taryn can speak Welsh.
No, I don't. No, the Valleys, we're lucky if we can speak English. And I think there's more Welsh speakers now in the Valleys, but where you're from, it's proper Welsh.
Generally, I think the further north you go, the more
snobby
prominent
they become.
Yeah. Wow.
It's true, they get proper Welsh. I used to be a door-to-door salesman when I was 16.
Wow, what did you sell?
Selling draft proofing. Government-funded draft proofing.
Wow.
Yeah.
You have had an exciting life.
Wonderful life. Come a long way.
You know, we're talking to Shazia about her upbringing, and she had a fairly strict religious upbringing, and you were raised as a Jehovah's Witness, weren't you?
I was, yeah.
And was that were there strict rules there?
Yeah, it's very strict. Yeah, it's quite a strict upbringing, and, you know, we knock doors on the weekends, and you get a lot of doors slammed in your face, and it's quite an experience for a young child to experience that, but I am truly, you know, I've got thick skin now. It's as an actor, it worked to my favour, really.
And what got the worst reception from people when you knocked on the door? Was it the Jehovah's Witness message, or was it the government-funded grafting school?
Well, no, definitely Jehovah's Witnesses. Unfortunately, but you know, we had some people that listened, and so it was some interesting. But the reason I said about the drafts excluding, because I used to work in Llanelli, and if you knocked on a Welsh-speaking person's door and you said the introduction in English, they'd slam the door in your face for not speaking Welsh.
Yeah.
So it's quite interesting. Anyway, back to the point.
No, I could do hours on draft excluding. So.
Yes, I love talking about draft.
What kind of draft excluding was it? How much of the draft did it actually exclude? Well, let me talk about The Hobbit, because The Hobbit was a huge part for you to get in that film, in that sequence of films, back in 2014. And I guess Peter Jackson shot them all in New Zealand, didn't he?
He did, yeah. He doesn't like leaving home. So he does it all in this amazing place in Wellington. We got these beautiful studios, and obviously we get to live there and experience... This is an extraordinary place.
And you were in the last 2, weren't you?
I was, yeah.
How long were you out there for? How long did you film for?
All in all, a year.
Oh, so not that long, really, then?
Well, I mean, I could have shot 4 movies in that time, but it's a slow process. And when we finished shooting, we only thought it was 2 movies. And then about a month after we'd wrapped, they decided to cut it into 3.
Do you have memorabilia? Do you keep things? If I was on a film like The Hobbit, I would be stealing stuff. I would take home some Hobbit's feet and stuff like that. You know, I would have a collection. Do you have stuff?
Yeah, no, I've got... we had a big... you remember the big scene where the Master of Lake Town leaves in this big barge full of coins
Stephen
and money?
Fry is escaping.
Stephen Fry, yeah. And I nicked a couple of those coins and took a few of those, stuffed them in the pockets every time. I kept finding them everywhere, and I was like, well, someone's going to take them, so I might as well. So,
you love a bargain, we know
I
that.
love a bargain.
So you can take this in the pound shop.
There's a hefty price on eBay as well. It's quite impressive. Yeah.
What about the weapons, though? Do you have the bow?
I do. I actually have the arrow, the black arrow
that kills
Smaug. Yeah, they sent it.
Oh, hold it. This is the picture you brought in. This is from your house, is that right?
That's my house. Yeah, that's the back of my house. And it's funny because Bard has it above his dinner table, so I thought it better be above mine. So,
also be handy if ever you get burgled.
True. Or you've got a big piece of turkey stuck in the front. To you. Yeah.
Do you have memorabilia? Do you save? You must have saved at least one set of claws, I imagine.
I've got a few of those.
Wow.
Yeah, for the retirement. That's what I'm going to sell.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And when their kids are not doing their homework, it works. But I remember on the very first X-Men, on the last day of shooting, there was a knock on my trailer door. I was getting changed ready for the last thing, and my costume designer came with a plastic bag, like a garbage bag. I said, what's that? She said, take this. And I looked inside. It was one of the X-Men suits. And there were 10 X-Men suits at different stages of being ripped apart. And I said, what's that? She said, the other 9 have already been taken. They're already gone. Just keep this one. And I was like, oh, OK. So I kept it.
Wow.
Yeah, everything just gets nicked.
Do you ever put it on just for yourself? Do you ever walk around, you know...
My wife quite likes it on a Saturday night.
Do you have anything from Kingsman?
Were you in the hair? With the hair.
I have the watch from Kingsman, the watch with the sleeper darts.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
It's really, really cool. And I have 2 pairs of Eddie the Eagle glasses as well.
That's
I wear on a Saturday night.
So now, after The Hobbit, did you find yourself that suddenly you got recognised more? Because that was kind of a big breakthrough for you, I would have thought. Is that fair to say?
Well, it was, but because it happened over 3 years, and the first one came out and I wasn't in it, and then I had to wait another year, and then I was only in a bit of that, and then the third one came out. But it's a weird thing being recognised. It took a while for me, but I think it was 3 films that did it, and it was Fast and the Furious and Bard and Dracula.
What's the worst place you've been approached for a selfie, for example?
This is unbelievable. I went to the gym with a friend of mine, in a gym I don't usually go to in town, and it was very busy, and it was like lunchtime, and we did training, went had a shower, and I was getting changed, and literally pulling my pants up. And this guy came
so
over,
you're naked?
Naked, with my ass to the room, pulling up my pants, and this guy went, excuse me, can I just have a selfie? Like this.
Wow.
And I'm like, no, bloody God. Pushed him away, he was ready to take one. Like,
we have that picture now. Sadly not, but we're hoping someone will send it in. So here's exciting news. If you are a fan of grown-up science fiction films, you know, a kind of dark and perhaps even disturbing view of the future, then you are going to love the film Lucy Now. It's based on a book by the man I consider probably the greatest British writer, that kind of thing, J.G. Ballard. High Rise, an incredible and very challenging piece of work in some ways. How would you describe the actual story?
Well, basically, it's about a high-rise where people are living in this high-rise, and slowly they start to break the rules. Rules are forgotten, they stop going to work. Socially, they start to break up. And my character is in the book called the Agitator, and basically he just starts to stir up the trouble, and people start becoming very primal in their existence. There's a lot of sex, there's a lot of drugs, there's a lot of partying, there's a lot of hedonism, anarchy, and you sort of, it starts here, goes up, and then it just plummets.
Yeah, it gets crazy. And it's interesting because you have very much a class system within this very kind of like 1970s looking building that the whole film is set in, this high-rise, with the kind of people who are, I guess, the lower class people, the lower earners at the bottom, and the rich people very much out of touch at the top, and it's the friction between them, I guess.
And it's very clear that, you know, the ones at the bottom, weirdly, he gave me a Welsh accent, which I didn't think mattered that much, but it sort of did, because in the 70s, you know, the Welsh were a bit of a chip on their shoulder. We were, you know, we were miners at that time, and I sort of channeled a lot of that stress and aggression that the Welsh had from the valleys with the mines and Thatcher and all that stuff. I wanted to bring that sort of a man who was fighting for his rights and trying to climb the ladder, and he, you know, he's like a crazy Pied Piper on acid at one point, taking the children to the swimming pool.
It does look incredible as well. I mean, Ben Wheatley is a director who has a unique kind of, you know, very look unique, and very great visual style as well. This is High Rise. It's out now, and it's an incredible experience. This is High Rise.
For all its inconveniences, Lang was satisfied with life in the high-rise.
I'm so sorry.
I'll survive.
I thought you were empty.
I just moved in.
You're an excellent specimen.
I put all my energies into this town, but I am the architect of my own accident.
Is that a horse?
Probably.
On the 40th floor?
Your husband appears intent on colonizing the sky. And who can blame him when you look at what's going on at street level?
We pay the same charges as the top floors. We want our fair share of the power.
Teething problems. Building's still settling.
Doesn't it seem odd that a man can fall from the 39th floor and not one police car turn up? Where's the sirens?
What have you got there?
A kaleidoscope.
What can you see through that thing?
The future.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. He's out now in cinema starring Luke Evans. Let's say thank you to Mr. Luke Evans, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. We're going to take a quick break.